Hello and welcome back to the Sharks World, ladies and gentlemen. Today's video is on, in my opinion, the most underrated shark in the ocean. They're often used in aquariums because they look scary, when in reality, they're some of the chillest sharks you could swim with, and one of the sharks I recommend people swim with for their first time swimming with sharks in the wild. Of course, I'm talking about the sand tiger shark. If this happens to be your favorite shark, this video is for you. So let's not waste any time and dive right in. Grab you a cold drink, pull up a chair to the table, and let's talk about the most underrated shark in the ocean. So, before we begin, let's take a moment to distinguish which species of sand tiger I'm talking about. Most people think there's only one version of them, but in reality, there's a number of them, as well as other sharks people usually cover. There's the regular sand tiger shark, but there's also the small-toothed sand tiger shark and the big-eyed sand tiger shark. And apparently there's also a species known as the Indian sand tiger shark, but very little is known about it, and some scientists believe it's the same species as the OG sand tiger. Everyone knows the usual facts about them. They grow to about 10 feet long, the babies eat each other in their mother's womb, they eat bony fish, crabs, squid, etc., etc. But what about other things that no one talks about in regards to these sharks? One of them is a topic I covered in one of my earlier videos about how sand tiger sharks, as well as a few other species of sharks, are just as social as mammals. Males travel together to the same spots during migrations and often hang around the same individuals. Same goes for the females. Many people associate social behavior with intelligence, which, if you ask me, is within reason to a degree. But I believe the sand tiger shark has other indications of high intelligence. A big one is their habit of holding air in their lungs. That's how they're able to hold still in the water and swim effortlessly. Now, for my shark scholars out there who have seen my new video on a new understanding of shark evolution, here's the million-dollar question. How and why did the sand tiger sharks learn to do this? This behavior tells us a few things. That these sharks, who, by the way, don't need air to survive, understand how air works, even if it's just on a basic level. They were able to figure out that holding air in their lungs would let them live and hunt more efficiently. Sand tigers use stealth as their weapon. During the night, by staying very still and floating through the ocean quietly, they're able to sneak up on their prey with ease. This is a tactic that they not only figured out, but passed on to other sand tigers. Because remember, sharks do get information from one another, either by watching other sharks or through their body language. This technique had to start from somewhere, then somehow make it to other sand tiger sharks. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the mark of an intelligent animal. Another element to this that not a lot of people talk about is that some species of sharks hunt cooperatively. Most people think all sharks are solo hunters, when in reality, some sharks are solo hunters sometimes. But there are times when some sharks work together. Our buddies over at elasmaresearch.org highlighted an incident from 1915 reported by a gentleman named Russell Coles. To quote the article directly, according to Coles, a school of 100 or more sand tigers systematically surrounded the school of bluefish and herded them into the shallow water, where, at the same instant, the pack of sharks dashed in and attacked their nearly stranded prey. And yes, I will link this in the description. Now, I know someone is going to bring up the fact that it was from 1915 and that it was just reported. But I would argue that sand tigers actually doing this is well within the realm of reason. This article highlights that dolphins have performed similar hunting tactics when going after mullet. Herding animals in general is not something just any group can do. It's very easy for prey to escape if the predators aren't skilled and coordinated. That's not the only report of sand tigers hunting cooperatively. Another report talks about how sand tigers would work together to herd fish by whipping their tails to create sharp underwater pressure waves. Sound familiar? Sharktoz, are you saying that sand tigers learned this technique from thresher sharks? To be clear, as far as I'm aware, there's no direct evidence that supports this argument. That being said, if I had to answer the question, I would argue that it's possible. We know one way that shark pups learn is by watching other sharks. Who's to say adults don't do the same? The range of sand tigers and thresher sharks do overlap quite a bit as well. If sand tiger sharks use air as a tool to make their daily lives more efficient, then I believe it's absolutely in the realm of possibility that some of them have watched other animals and adopted certain behaviors. So there you have it. Sand tiger sharks, if you ask me, are extremely underrated. And before someone asks, as of recording this video, sand tiger sharks have never killed a human. Because they are often known as the shark they use in aquariums, I believe we may have missed possible signs of higher intelligence and other interesting aspects of their life. Please do yourself a favor and look into sand tiger sharks a little deeper. Thank you for once again giving me some of your time. Remember to never skip leg day, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then.